I grew up in Queens, New York. I was 16 when September 11th happened. I was in high school. It was about 9:45 a.m. and all of a sudden everything went into chaos. And being a teenager, everything was dramatic no matter what it was, so that was even more intense. And at first it was just a lot of confusion and fear, not knowing what was happening, not knowing, that there were actually people dying, being that I was in Queens. And then I took a little rollerblade ride and I went to an overpass and I saw smoke flowing out of the city. And I realized that it was real and that there were people dying, and I just got really scared, basically. And my friend's father was missing. That was scary. He was a firefighter. They ended up not really finding his remains, but they got a recording of him. So looking back now, 10 years later, it's just a big loss of life that can never be replaced. And I still kind of have doubts as to who was responsible. Politicians like to blame it on certain people, certain ethnicities, parts of the world. But what it comes down to is they're all after the same money, the same resources, and it's usually the underdog and the regular people who are just going to work in the morning that are the ones that get hurt in the mess of all the chaos. So it's sad, but it's also even sadder, in my opinion, to see it being rebuilt in such an extravagant way. As a New Yorker, I would prefer that the proper respect was paid and that there was just some kind of beautiful park or memorial there. Instead, they're building these gigantic towers, and I find that to be a great sign of disrespect for the people that died there, especially the thousands of people that were never found that are still somewhere floating around the air in downtown Manhattan. And I think people get very sentimental about it, but what happened, 3,000 or so people died. We have to recognize that, but there's no way of really preventing that from happening again, which is probably the scariest part of it.